Hello there and welcome to the Norwich versus Liverpool review, where it finished Liverpool 1, Norwich 0. And to a lot of people it might look like a bit of an underwhelming performance, a bit of an underwhelming result. But at the end of the day, if you're going for a title or if you're going for a championship, you're going for whatever, it doesn't matter if you win 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-0 or you win 1-0, because the points you get at the end of the day, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, none for a loss. So it doesn't really matter. Now, people will turn around and say, yeah, but it's against Norwich, you should have pasted them 4-5-0. It doesn't matter. I think I predicted that it was going to be a 2-0 win for Liverpool, but that Norwich would actually cause us quite a few problems. In some ways they did. You know, they had their chances. From what I look at stats-wise, obviously possession was ours. It really was, 64% to 36%. Shots, they had 3, 1 on target. We had 9, 5 on target. And in general, everything else just seemed to fall in our favour. It really did, apart from free kicks and saves made. So the shots on target that we had, 5 shots on target, 1 of them wasn't saved, which was the goal by Sadio Mané. Now, I genuinely don't care whether it was just a 1-0 or anything like that. No one's talking about any of that sort of stuff at the moment. All it is just this incredible lead that Liverpool have at the top of the table after what was actually a really good performance. It was a little bit rusty here or there. It was a little bit disjointed at times. You could tell that the first team had been on a break, and it's always kind of like, you know, when like boxers and stuff like that have a bit of time out of the ring and they call it ring rust. Well, we had a little bit of time out here where we didn't play any competitive games, you know, and, yes, they will have been in training and such like that as well for a bit. But in general, you get away a little bit from, playing matches every 3-4 days, stuff like that. Probably it does have a little bit of an effect, but we didn't let it affect us too much. You know, Norwich had one of their biggest chances that they had in the game as well, which was, I don't remember the player, but he passed it off to Pukki. Basically got in behind our back line really, really well. A nice ball over the top that put them right through on goal. Tried to slide it through to Pukki, and Alisson with, I tell you what, Alisson is just, he is the best goalkeeper in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't even need to touch wood. I don't need to do anything like that. Without a shadow of a doubt, Alisson is the best goalkeeper in the world. Not just because of that save, but that, just absolutely slapping the ball out of the way like it was nothing, and then getting up afterwards looking like the coolest man in the place, while most of the people would have been gripping their chairs and like, oh my God, don't let this be the goal, that maybe could end the run or anything like that. And it certainly didn't end up that way. Norwich did cause their problems. And I'll say a side note as well about Norwich. Norwich are probably going to be one of the teams that, if, as it looks likely that they will get relegated, if that happens, I'll actually be pretty gutted, that Norwich get relegated, because they play good football. They go about playing a football match against the top teams the right way. They don't want to just sit back and soak up pressure. They want to try and get forward. They want to play their football, play good passing moves. And I'll actually be quite gutted that if they go down, because I think for the way that they play, they sort of deserve to stay up, but defensively, it's just not there for them. Liverpool, for the most part of our play, a lot of it in the first half especially, was about playing long balls. And it worked to an extent. It created some problems, but it just wasn't incisive enough. It didn't really give enough to the forward players. You've got to think about the forward players that we have as well. When you think of like Bobby Firmino, Salah, yesterday it was Oxlade-Chamberlain in the first 60 minutes at least. And we just didn't seem to be, it was more about getting the passes forward instead of actually playing the ball forward, if you know what I mean. So instead of actually carrying the ball and passing it with incisive passing, quick movement, quick releasing of the ball onto another player to set through another player, there didn't seem to be a lot of that. Any of that sort of stuff that came through, it came through Bobby Firmino. Like his nice little scoop turn pass through to Wine, almost set him through on goal. Really, really lovely. really lovely little piece of play. But there was very few of that in the first half, in my opinion anyway. When I'm looking at it, I thought there's a lot of long balls in that one. That's something that needs to change in the second half. And as we come out in the second half, it did change, and the intensity went up from us, the passing moves went up from us, and this was even before Mane came on. It wasn't necessarily that Mane essentially made the difference, but once Mane came on the pitch, you see what we miss. You see what we miss when he's not on the pitch. He's just absolutely fantastic. Like, I put a tweet out the other day, during the game after he scored, that Mane is probably the best player in the Premier League, and I stand by that. People will throw back to Kevin De Bruyne, but I've got to say, in terms of forward play, in terms of what he does in terms of link-up play, scoring goals, the creativity that he's got, I just think that Mane is literally the best player in the league, and also one of the most underrated, because he's quite understated himself. You know, he's not a loud, audacious player or anything like that. He loves to play his football. He's a very, very, very good footballer, and I love the guy. I'm so glad he's back. He comes off the bench. Henderson with a beautiful forward pass right up to Mane, controls it, turns around, volleys it, smashes it in the back of the net, 1-0, and that is how the game ended for us. And it's a really nice, I don't want to say confidence booster, because I think our confidence was already quite high, but when you come back from a break, the team's been on a break, and you come back in, we don't always do well. Like when we've had international breaks and stuff like that, where they've been like 2 weeks long, we don't always hit a rhythm straight away. And it only took us to the second half to get our rhythm back, and that was really, really cool to see. It was honestly brilliant. I felt that Naby Keita had a really good game as well. I think that Naby Keita, a lot of people were saying his passing was poor, but I felt that his movement was brilliant. His passing might have been a little bit off, but his movement and moving the ball forward in tight spaces was second to none. He was absolutely brilliant in that game. Who else did we have as well? Let's just have a quick look at our lineup here. Obviously, Henderson got the assist. Felt that he was really, really good. The defence is very understated because it kept a clean sheet, but you cannot, let's also put into perspective that Alisson missed 8 Premier League games through injury, and now he's top of the clean sheet charts for the Premier League. Let's just let that sink in. And that is a combined effort of Alisson and the defence as a whole. People will criticise Trent Alexander-Arnold as a defensive right back, but he plays his part. He does his part. He does it quite well. Joe Gomez, fantastic. Virgil van Dijk, cool as you like. Andy Robertson was just, again, exceptional, brilliant. They're passing back and mainly Trent to Robertson out on the left-hand side, but the passing and the control of it and setting off attacking moves. And Robertson's crosses in the second half deserved more goals. And it just, one of them, I think, deflected off a player, could have gone on the back of the net, and it could have been a goal for Robertson. But his passing and crossing into the box alone, that sharp, almost like mid to low drive across the box, deserved way more, from, that class delivery that he's got. Up and down the pitch, we played really well. And I think we had Mane come on, Fabinho came on, as well as James Milner. Having James Milner back is huge for us as well. Again, another understated player, but glad to have James Milner back because he's such a versatile player for us. And not just that, he's such a good player as well. Not just the fact that he's versatile, but he is a good footballer. He's brilliant. He's absolutely awesome. I love this team. I really do. I can't state it enough. I absolutely love this team. That now sits us, and I need to look at it just to look at it again. 25 wins, 1 draw out of 26 games. We are 76 points now. 25 points ahead of our closest rival, which is Manchester City. 25 points. 5 games to go, or at least another 5 games, to win. Liverpool confirmed the Premier League title. I still refuse to let myself say we're going to win the league. But it's close. It's really close. And it's just it's an insane feeling to even think about it. But yeah, we'll get to that another day. Next up for Liverpool is Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. I think we are playing away, but there will be a preview. That will come out on Monday. So look out for that one. That will come out Monday afternoon as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Liverpool game. Yes, it wasn't necessarily the most exciting game, but always, as always, the most important thing is picking up those valuable 3 points. Let me know what you think in the comments below of that game and also ahead of Atletico Madrid. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.